You're welcome to another edition of Journalists Explain This, a program designed to update us on happenings around us. I am Lekan Lisoye, your friend in the School of Wisdom. Today is an opportunity to chat with another veteran journalist in Ogun State. He's a pastor too, and Pastor Foluso Adelaja, the publisher of State Post. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Lisoye.
It's my pleasure to chat with you today after some months, so some weeks of your traveling outside the town.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
Then quickly look at there are some 2-3 issues I want us to look at. The first one is the Senate President Akpabio talk about the introduction of the national anthem, said it will handle bandits. How do you look at this issue?
It's just comedic. I think it's just being funny. There's no way the anthem could have handled banditry, because in Nigeria we are not serious about the anthem. It's just a song we are just singing.
It's not in our hearts.
It's not coming from our heart. The National Orientation Agency is not really doing the real work it should do to ensure that we all love this country. There's no, to Nigerians, we are a divided country. We are divided. The different geopolitical zones of Nigeria are not coherently fused into one. Each politicians from different stocks go there or goes there just to make maybe to line up his own pocket, and that's all about it. Even when we are talking about Nigeria, we are not.
So, to you, national anthem.
What is the difference? Even if you want to weigh it, Arise, O Compatriot is more appealing to compatriots than Nigeria. We hail thee. Mm-hmm. You are hailing a country you don't like. You praise that country that you don't like. And you are praising a country when it's not even growing. Though I know that all countries of the world are like a chicken on a rope. Not here, not there. They are always struggling to maintain balance. But that of Nigeria is just too much. It's like a step forward, 2 steps backward. What is in going back to old national?
Is that as a result of the economy?
I just think it is funny. We have other issues at stake.
In your own view, reversing the old national anthem
is out of the point. It's not the issue.
So you want to throw the line of the governor of your state, talking about there are some pressing issues.
There are more pressing issues.
Is there talking about national?
Yes, there are more pressing issues. If you had come out with a forthright policy on economy, if you had corrected that, do this, do that. Now, if you talk of the orientation of the people, not just out of the blues, changing the anthem. Look at the way Idiagbon, blessed memory, did it. He raised up people's awareness about why war against indiscipline. If you now mention the anthem, that the anthem is not fully contributing to the growth of the country, or the growth of our love for each other, or the growth of of our love for our country, then it's a different. For example, when you talk of America to the Americans, they could die. They could die for it. You will be hearing Uncle Sam will not take this.
Okay.
But here,
somebody even said that the second stanza of that Arise is a prayer in any government functions. Let us pray. It is the second stanza.
Even the second stanza of this one too is prayer. But what has that got to do? If he's saying that could tackle banditry. We were singing the old national anthem, Nigeria we hail thee, and yet we fought war. There was civil war. That didn't. That didn't stop the civil war. So how could it have stopped
The banditry.
banditry?
Maybe like you said,
And
said
know,
it's a commentary. Maybe you call him Baba
it's called
Salah.
it's comedy. It's just
Anyway, let's
just
leave
being
that side
funny.
and now come to the issue of ASU again. They are threatening to go on strike, beckoning on government to do what they expect to be done. What is your take on that?
I take on labor unionism, or sorry, labor or unionism in Nigeria is that we are too selfish. They are too selfish. They think of themselves alone. When you talk of employees of government, they are not up to 5% of the population, and yet they are demanding fantastic salary money that will crumble the economy of the country. Economy is such a fragile matter that has to be handled with issue. If we pay 400 and something as they are demanding, our money will become toilet rolls like they say of Uganda, or like Italy of those days. Italy of those days, when you are coming for your salary, you come with wheelbarrow. They pile it up with millions of lira, and it has no value whatsoever. Or like Ghana in those days, when I was going to Ghana, that I left, I went with about I think 15,000, and I became millionaire when I reached there.
When
And by the time I bought,
you see this.
by the time I ate my first food, and they charged me 500,000, I said, that's how you pay. You feeling this millionaire's money. So the money will no longer have any issue. You see, what labor should be fighting for is for the generality of the people. The labor can force government into doing what is right. Our labor has not asked for health sector to be improved, if not to go on strike. So that any hospital you enter to, as long as you're a Nigerian, you, at least if it's not a drug, consultation should be free. Take Ogun State, where you have to pay about 5,000 naira for card. Go to general hospital, their general hospital at Ijaye, you have to pay as much as that for card. How many people can afford that?
There's national insurance health insurance schemes there for anybody who's interested. If you are a worker, you have to go there.
What about the market woman that is not a worker, that is not learned enough about the insurance? Are you thinking of them?
That's another area.
Labor will force government to do, rather than be fighting for their salary all the time that labor goes out on the street. It is for individual salary, and they knew that their salary is like a ding dong bell.
I think what ASU is talking about is not only salaries. They are talking about the amenities, the provision of these amenities should be in universities. Not only talking about.
Let them come out with what they are fighting. But my brother, I will tell you, the history of Nigerian labor, salary will be included.
Including ASU.
Yes, including ASU. Salary will be included. Allowance will be included. Okay. And their own argument is not tenable. That if some nuisance, some useless person went into government and became rich, what happens to them that are well learned? This is a food for thought for Nigerians. But as long as you put one idiot beside the soup to dish it out, you dish more for himself than for you. So it behoves them too, more of them, to go into politics. But what we know about Nigeria is that we are all corrupt, we are all the same thing. When they reach there, it will be different.
Even when they reach there,
when they reach there too, it will become a different song. That's Nigeria.
And part of that demand is to have the university facilities in the university that compete with other universities in the world. Comparing, they look at the past. The universities are in the university in the past to compare with what they have presently. That's one of the demands they are talking about.
But they could. Do you think it is shunning work that could correct that? Because when you shun work, you send the students out, They are not. It becomes a vicious circle.
So what's the implication of us going on strike again after several months of going on strike, saying in about two,
The
3 years
implication
ago?
is that it will disrupt the academic calendar, and of course, children that are supposed to finish at one time will be prolonging their this thing, and that's not too good for
So your
our
take is that they
educational
should not go
system.
on strike. They should be
They should not
patient.
go on strike. They should judge with government more of judging with government than strike.
Now talk about. I want us to look at go to area of spiritual now. There has been a report that Jesus Christ is from Igbo land, precisely is from Imo State, born and crucified. Oweri, born and crucified there. As a pastor, how do you see this news, this report, or stories that you see?
Nobody can rewrite history.
Okay, history is there already.
History is there already.
Okay,
Uh, if you now believe that Hitler has done very well, and you are now saying that Hitler is from Africa, that does not change the fact that Hitler is a German. I am sorry to use
that analogy
the name
is
of
very
that
good.
notorious
Okay, notorious personality.
personality. But on a more serious note, we all know history that Jesus Christ is a Nazareth. His father's self, that is God, said his son shall be called out of Bethlehem. So he's from Nazareth. We all knew that. So how can he have come from Oweri? And then so even another comedy to it is that I've read it on our social media severally. Several people saying that Jesus is a black man. Jesus, what has that got to do with it? The only thing that is that matters is that this name has been tested and proven that ask in his name you shall get. I am a pastor and I proclaim his name always.
Okay.
All because, well, we have tested it, I have done it, and I've seen that it works. Jesus' name wouldn't have been accepted worldwide if it doesn't work. There are several times some people have been in trouble, they call his name in the hand, and his father has said it that by his name all knees shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. And when he was coming, he said he named him. We called him Yeshua Messiah. That is Jesus Christ. But he named his son Emmanuel, God with us. He affirmatively said, God is with you. And he is God. And you have seen several things, severally. Look at where he raised the dead body of Lazarus. Even when Martha was complaining that if you were here, you would said, forget it. I am life. Yeah. I am resurrection and life. And he said, take the stone out. Lazarus come out, and he came out, and he still works till today. Only that he's saying that your faith. So whether you say your own is from Oweri, your own is from, depends on who you believe in, but as long as it works.
Maybe may refer to another. We have many Jesus. We have times. There was time we have Jesus of Agigi, Jesus of Oyibo.
No, at the time we had Jesus of Oyibo. Okay. Yes, and his estate is still there in Oyibo. And when you reach the estate, you still see a statue. You see bed descending. On that statue, they write, "This is my beloved son, whom I'm well pleased." And then
up to today,
yes, up to today, the estate is still there. Okay. It became when he died, became a real tug of war between his biological sons and biological children and the children born in the enclave. That everybody was bearing his name because he's the father of all. So it became tug of war until Lagos State government seized the property, and that was what solved the issue. But the estate is still there today in Maryland.
Then we still have Jesus of Agigi. So there are many Jesus here and there.
So if they want to create their own in a way, all right. But we know that history cannot be changed. Jesus is not from Oweri. Jesus is is from Israel.
Israel. That's right. And the name is the tested and trusted.
And tested and confirmed.
Confirmed. So no.
Tested and confirmed. Only that you have to go with your belief. Your belief has to be strong. That this name, if you don't believe in it, if you think you can just call it, it must be the last resort. You don't have any other option but that name. That is when it is not that when Daniel was going to the lion's den, he was afraid. No, he believed, and when he was in the den, he knew God will solve his problem. The same thing goes for Shadrach, Meshach. Hear what they said to the Oba, to the king, that we will not bow for your. We know that our God is. That believe has to be
So you are
strong.
encouraging people to believe.
Yes, just believe.
Now, how do we now embrace this Jesus we are talking about?
It's the same thing. Sorry, it's the same thing with David. It's not that he shook before going before Goliath. He was so sure that my God will do it. You have to believe, and it has to be there. And then he said something in the Bible: don't test the Lord your God. Don't say I am doing it because I want to test his name. And now you are saying to a lion, Kai, don't come. No.
You made me okay now.
You don't go and test. You must be in that situation, not caused by you. There's no way out of it. You are now there. You now resort to that Jesus, my Lord.
Okay, maybe there was a case of several years ago about the one jumping into the lion's gear like
you are testing God,
okay.
and there's no way that one will help you. It's not that you are in danger.
Okay.
You put yourself in that danger.
If peradventure you have succeeded that day, what would have been? What would have happened?
And people will have hailed him and followed him, not knowing that he used something. He has something behind that he went to use. You must not have anything. No other God but him. You must not have anything. You are not testing medicine. You are not testing juju. You are not testing anything. You are in a hard situation. All of a sudden, then my father. That's how it works.
Now, so lastly, on journalists explain this, I want to look at the issue of cholera around here. And I know it has not spread much in Ogun State. Then what's preventive measure you suggest that all of us should consider?
Well, first and foremost, all of us must consider our personal hygiene. I think government is on top of it, and government should do more. We should encourage our younger ones when they return from school to wash their hands. So at this time now, we have to be more cautious, and then buying anything, especially fruits, don't eat without washing, and then ensure that all foods are well cooked, because anything can trigger it, and once it is in the air and it is triggered, to control it becomes another problem. It is better control than cure. So all of us should be preventive. All of us should adhere strictly to rules of personal hygiene.
So that's how far we can go today on Journalists Explain This, with a pastor, a comrade, a veteran journalist, Pastor Foluso Adelaja, the publisher of State Post, talking about how we should guide ourselves and take proper care of our health, because health is wealth. So thank you for coming on our program today. Journalists Explain This. It's my pleasure having you.